Hi everyone, I'm going to spend a few moments with you today talking about Dynamics 365 for sales. I'm going to go through a quick overview, then talk about how to import data, how to create views, add new fields and create charts as well. Importing data is one of the things that comes up quite often, so we will go through that. Let's get started. So here's the main screen as you land in Dynamics 365 for sales. To the top right, there is the settings area here where you can do a little bit of customization if you are interested. I'm not going to go through that today, but the reason I want to talk about this section here is just to show you the About section. If you click up there, you notice I have enabled the April 2019 updates, so your system may look slightly different as of this point in time. This video is made on the 18th of April 2019. As you can see, looking at all the different areas, you have the sales dashboards area. These dashboards come standard from Microsoft, and these are the built-in for in the sales module. And if I scroll down a little bit here, I can see there are lists that I can create as well, which means I can add lists to my dashboard as well. I can go on the top and create a new dashboard, in which case it's going to take me to another page, and it is going to essentially use the editing tools to create a new dashboard. The process is quite easy, and you can pull any sort of data in terms of different types of charts, donut, whatnot. If you can see here, you can create a new chart, and if I click on that, I'm going to land on my designer. And like I said, you can add and remove charts as you wish. It asks you the type of record you want to do, and it gives you a nice view here, so you can break down all your accounts by industry or by owner or by month, and different types of charts that you can surface on the dashboards. If the chart that you're after is not in the list, that's absolutely fine. What you could do is create the chart separately and then come back to this page again. I'm not going to go in depth into this one, creating charts, but this shows you that you can do that, and you can do different types of charts as well. So let us exit that, go back to the overview, and as you can see, when you do have charts on the screen, you can drill down. So I can actually click on that and drill even further into the different county and change it there. So I'm actually drilling further into the one lead by this source. If I click on this section here, it asks me to drill down on these particular records, and then I can click on a different chart and it'll be able to dig deeper. And you can play around with this as well, but it's very, very handy as well. If you want to say, okay, I've got this much revenue, I can drill down and see where it's coming from based on the different fields that I have here. Similarly with this list down here, you can just click on the list and it'll take you directly into that particular item. You can also create a new task right from this list without having to go to the task section. And as you can see, you can do a little bit more as well in terms of exporting it to Excel, if you want to export it to Excel, and do other areas as well where you can delete it and whatnot. The experience on the mobile device is astonishingly the same, so you'll be able to get the same functionalities there too. In terms of bringing in records into the system, as you can see to the left, the sales module offers you accounts, contacts, leads, opportunities, competitors, and it does a bit of quotes, orders, invoices. It keeps a list of products, and you can even have sales literature in the form of articles that you can surface to your employees. In the customer service section, you even have cases that you can track, and that's an entire other module that we can go through another day. But essentially you can do a lot with the sales module, and even more, you can actually create your own entities. So if I go to the contact section here, I can see all my contacts obviously, and I can switch views, so I can see it in these different views, but I can also switch views and say show me only the active contacts, or show me only, you know, my connections. And if the view that I'm after is not in here, I can actually create a new view by going to the three dots on the top, create a view, and decide what kind of columns I want to surface on that view. And that gives us a lot of control. So if I go to edit columns up here, after creating a view, I should be able to add new columns, and it will ask me, you know, give me an entire list of all the columns that I can add. If you can see everything under the contact entity. And what's interesting as well is you can add things of related entities. So you can say the account, you know, if I listed an account related to this contact on the contact card, I can say for that particular account, show me the account name or the account rating and whatnot. And you can add that here, and these will create your view. You can also decide what type of records you want to allow the view to show by going to we'll just click down there by changing properties. Let's click on that. All right, we'll click on OK. And in terms of deciding how you can actually add and remove different columns so that it can filter, I can say here, look for contacts with the status active. And that essentially means that I can choose to show only the active contacts on my view. I can further drill down and say, if this contact's account, the related account, exists, then do something. And if the related account name is something, then do something, you know, and be able to surface that. If the related account status is active, which means show me only contacts that are currently active and that belong to accounts that are currently active. And that's how you can actually search for multi-levels in terms of the records so that you can have a nice view. And if you save that view, you can give it a name. I'm going to call it my view test. Save that, and then I can exit it, and it'll actually come up here. So if I scroll down, it shows my view, and I'll show the test here. If I click on that, it actually brings up what I wanted it to bring up here. And that will allow you to customize it. If you want to import records into the system and you want to decide what columns you want to import, you can simply go to the export to Excel, and you can export to a static worksheet, and you'll get all of these. What you can also do is go to Excel templates and be able to download the template, and that will essentially download the current view with all the columns in it. Then you can add to that view whatever names and records you want, and then import that. So if I had to create a new view especially for the import, and I can add the columns I want to bring into the system, but I'll just leave it as that for now. I'm just going to add, say, first name, last name, and I'll remove the full name. I just want these 3 columns for now. For example, I can save that and call it test view for import. And then what I can say is I want the status equals inactive, and essentially this is going to show me a view where there is nothing in it. It's empty. Do you see that? And you can have different criteria. You may have some inactive ones that will pop up here, but my idea is I want to create a view that's empty so that I can download the template very easily. So all I have to do is switch to my view, and I can just go and download the template. And I'm just going to call this test2, and then just put a number there, save that, and I'm going to import this template. And that's my file there. Go next, review mapping. It all looks alright. Finish import, done. And now if I go to contacts and search for the test contact, it's probably going to take a moment to come across. There we go. So that's my contact I've just imported. And that's pretty much it. It's a very straightforward, very basic import tool. It's not a complex situation. So you should be able to do that yourself. I'll just repeat the steps just one more time. It's very basic. You decide on what you want to import into the system of the contacts, and you do that by creating a new view, and you define the fields you want to bring in. Just remember the company name here must already exist in this system if you want to bring this across. So ensure that you actually have those company names in the system before you import. This is called a lookup field, and lookup fields can break the import if the system cannot find them. So you decide on the fields or the columns you want to import. You export the template, fill it in, copy paste into it, and then go and import it from here, and job is done. Similarly with if I go to new contact, I can just create one from there. Then I can show charts of whatever charts are available in here, and I can obviously create a new chart as well. So if I want to slice my data using a different way, I can just hit new, and it will open the designer for me to create a new chart. And I can say base it on all contacts, and I can say let us organize them by status. Okay, so let us say the count of all status, and then let us say the status this way is going to be broken down into a column chart. I can switch that to pie chart, line chart. Let's just say stacked column for now. Let's look for another field that probably has more values. Let's go customer size. Nope, I don't have much in there. Let's try another one. Department. Nope, nothing in there either. Perhaps job title. Yeah, so this one has a good number of things for us to play around. If I go to pie chart, it'll break it down like that. So if I save and close, essentially I have my chart here, so I can drill down on this information. Now I can also share this chart with my colleagues so that they can also use it. So I can hit share, and I can decide on the person or the team who's going to be using that, and you can give them read, write, delete permissions, and that's how you can import data, how you can create charts, how you can create views, and that's a very, very basic overview. You should also be able to add more information to the system there as well if you need to. Yeah, and you can have a play around. You can add to marketing lists and do other stuff as well. So good luck.